are the mysteries of the Bible. The third grand temple built by the Edomite king, where millions of Israelites and Jews worship, including the Levite priests. The same temple visited by Jesus was built by an Edomite king.
More than anything, Herod dreams of immortal glory. Now he sets out to make an impression that will last an eternity. To Jews around the world, there is no holier sight than this, the western wall of the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Here prayers are offered, tears are shed, and dead are remembered. These monumental stones are all that remain of the original Temple Mount, built some 2,000 years ago by Herod the Great.
In all the things which Herod the Great built in the land of Israel, the most extraordinary of all these buildings was the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. It is, to this day, the largest religious structure ever made by one man in the history of the world.
Here, the last holy temple in the history of Jerusalem once rose toward the heavens. Here, a young Jesus once listened to the priests. Here, he cast out the money changers in a rare display of anger. And here, Christ made a fateful prediction.
Some of his disciples were remarking how the temple was adorned with beautiful stones. But Jesus said, "As for what you see here, the time will come when not one stone will be left on another. Every one of them will be thrown down." Luke 21.
History would eventually confirm Christ's dire prophecy, but a great mystery would remain locked in these stones. Why did Herod, with his mixed blood and scant respect for Jewish law, build the most lavish holy temple Jerusalem had ever seen? For 5 long centuries, this temple has been worn by the footsteps of worshippers. By the time Herod becomes king, the holy temple shows the ravages of time.
Herod the Great realized that a great king in a great city, in a great kingdom, needed a temple that was larger, more grandiose, more impressive than that. And he set out to build a temple that, in fact, would become a tourist attraction, a temple of which both he and his subjects would be proud.
When the king announces his plans to rebuild the holy structure, his Jewish subjects are fearful. Could this simply be a ruse to get rid of their beloved temple?
The Jews of Jerusalem didn't want the king messing around with their holy temple at all, but they couldn't very well stop him. The story is that they wouldn't let him take away the old structure until he had completed the new structure around it.
Herod promises he will not begin building until all the raw materials for the new temple are assembled. Preparations alone will take over 2 years. Still, there remain serious religious concerns. According to Jewish law, only priests may set foot in the inner sanctum. How can common workers rebuild the temple without defiling the sacred site?
Herod trained a whole group of priests as carpenters and as masons and with all the necessary trades so that they could build the central holy place. He rebuilt the temple in Jerusalem in such a way that it never ceased offering sacrifice to the God of Israel for a single day.
The temple itself was built by the priests in a year and 6 months, upon which all the people were full of joy. Josephus, the Book of Antiquities.
With its facade of white marble, the temple shines like a snowy mountain in the sun. Precious gold adorns its entrance. Herod also enlarges the platform that supports the temple complex to a vast expanse of over 35 acres. Massive retaining walls are built of stones weighing 60 to 80 tons, so perfectly fitted that no mortar is used. Such expertise is still visible in the western wall of the Temple Mount. Herod's temple was one of many important cultural landmarks occurring around the world during the 1st century BCE. The Celts in Northern Ireland built a huge wooden fort called Neven as a ceremonial center. In China, court astronomers beat special bronze mirrors to ward off the evil spirits believed to appear during solar eclipses. And in Peru, master weavers produce some of the finest textiles in the Americas. In Judea, word of Herod's splendid temple attracts thousands of pilgrims to Jerusalem.
The Jewish reaction to the temple that Herod built, whether they hated him or not, was enormously positive, was overwhelmingly positive. It's very clear from the gospel stories that this temple was absolutely central to the Jewish people and the Jewish faith. They loved it. They came from all over the country to be present for the great pilgrimage festivals.
The Temple Mount alone would have secured Herod a place in history, but he continues to build as if driven by an obsession.
It was important for the kings to make huge monuments to themselves. The theory being that the monument lives after the king is dead, and if you want to ensure your own immortality, then you build something big that everybody will remember. I suppose every king must feel sort of like this. Just Herod did it.
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification button to be notified when we upload a new video.